The Philippines protested today the harassment of a Chinese Coast Guard ship that directed a military-grade laser towards a Philippine Coast Guard vessel in Ayungin Shoal in the West Philippine Sea. To tell us more, here's Zakarian Sarao reporting live.
Yes, Denisa, the Philippines, through the Department of Foreign Affairs, filed a diplomatic protest to the Chinese embassy in Manila following the harassment of a Chinese Coast Guard or CCG ship that directed a military-grade laser towards a Philippine Coast Guard vessel in Ayungin Shoal in the West Philippine Sea last February 6. To recall, the PCG vessel was supporting the Philippine Navy rotation and resupply mission at Ayungin Shoal when the incident happened. Then the unprovoked elimination resulted in the temporary blindness of PCG crew members. According to DFA spokesperson Teresita Daza, the Philippines has the prerogative to conduct legitimate activities within its exclusive economic zone and continental shelf, adding that it is China who does not have the law enforcement rights or powers in and around Ayungin Shoal or any part of the Philippine EEZ. She tagged China's act of aggression as both quote unquote disturbing and disappointing, as it came barely a month from President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s visit to Beijing in early January, where he and Chinese President Xi Jinping agreed to manage maritime differences through diplomacy and dialogue without resorting to force and intimidation. The DFA then called on China to comply with the 1982 United Nations Convention on the Law of the Seas, or UNCLOS, and the 2016 arbitral ruling, among other international laws. It can be recalled that in 2016, the Permanent Court of Arbitration ruled that the Philippines has rights in the West Philippine Sea, officially invalidating China's sweeping nine-dash line claim in the South China Sea. China, however, argued that it is the PCG vessel that intruded into their maritime territory, the Renai Reef. According to Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs Wang Wenbin, China merely acted quote-unquote in accordance with China's domestic and international law, including UNCLOS. Wenbin added that the CCG merely upheld China's quote-unquote sovereignty and maritime order, acting in a quote-unquote professional and restrained way. Earlier, the US also tagged China's harassment as quote-unquote provocative and unsafe. According to US Department of State spokesperson Ned Price, China's dangerous operational behavior directly threatens regional peace and stability and infringes upon freedom of navigation in the South China Sea as guaranteed under international law. Citing the Permanent Court of Arbitration's 2016 ruling, Price said that China has quote-unquote non-lawful maritime claims to Ayungin Shoal. The U.S. then reiterated that it stands with the Philippines in upholding rules-based international maritime order, further reaffirming that an armed attack on Philippine armed forces, public vessels, or aircraft, including those of the Coast Guard in the South China Sea, would invoke U.S. mutual defense commitments under the 1951 U.S.-Philippines Mutual Defense Treaty. Since 2016 and until January 26, the Philippines has filed a total of 461 diplomatic protests against China's intrusion into the West Philippine Sea. Back to you, Denisa.
Yes, Zach, of the 203 diplomatic protests filed since last year, how many were launched during the administration of President Marcos?
Uh, of the 461, I do not have the exact numbers for it, but only a few of them were filed during the time of Marcos. The long-standing long-standing fight between the Philippines and China because of the West Philippine Sea has been going on since the time of Duterte. Back to you again.
All right, thank you, Zach. That's Zakarian Sarao reporting live.